Los Angeles. Maybe you know it as LA or La La Land or Tinseltown, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Hollywood. Whatever name you think of when you think of the City of Angels, that's what we're talking about today.
Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something too fresh, I know. Put a little gold in the tea.
Is it worth living in Los Angeles? Now, before we get too far, if you wouldn't mind liking or subscribing to this channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. So listen, I grew up in LA, Silver Lake to be exact, which is now the epicenter of cool. My first job when I was 15 years old was at Mann's Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah, the one with the famous handprints right there in the courtyard on the Boulevard of Stars. It was as LA as an LA job can be, working premieres and hanging out with celebrities, and by hanging out I mean fetching cokes for David Lee Roth, by the way. But also guys like Michael Jackson and other celebrities that came to the theater. And I have a few good stories from that time period. But after that, I got a job that required me to drive all over LA, from the Valley to Orange County and from the beach to the east side. So I got to know the city really well, block by block. So I'm not going to give you some watered down transplant realtor opinion here. I'm giving you the real deal, okay, from an LA native. Now, people have been moving to LA for 100 years, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. LA is, of course, the entertainment capital of the world, and anyone who's ever thought about breaking into the entertainment industry has thought about moving to LA. Well, we also have a lot of other industry and job opportunities here in the Southland that draws tens of thousands of people every year. Now, what can you expect when you get here? Well, let's talk about what we like about Los Angeles. The weather's incredible, with 300 sunny days per year and temperatures mainly in the 70s and very low humidity. The LA weather, it's tough to beat. Now, the city is surrounded by beautiful beaches on one side, breathtaking mountains on the other, expansive deserts, providing endless opportunities for fun. In fact, you can literally go surfing in the morning and skiing in the afternoon. Now, where else on the planet can you do that? LA is home to an incredible food scene. We have Michelin star restaurants and then some of the best street food around. Los Angeles is lucky to be home to a diverse group of people who have brought us amazing food from around the world. Of course, LA is synonymous with great Mexican food, but we also have amazing Thai food, Korean, Ethiopian food. You name it, we've got it. If you're looking for healthy restaurants, of course, we've got you covered. We have imaginative vegan and vegetarian restaurants that are absolutely incredible. One of the things that makes our food so good is our resource of produce. Most of it comes from just a few hours north on the 5 freeway in Central California. LA has some of the most incredible housing stock in the world right here. Whether you're looking for a cute little bungalow or a character-filled Spanish home or a mid-century modern overlooking the world, or the comfort of a tract home, it's all here. From condos to castles, there's something for everyone. Some of the greatest architects in the world have added their stamp to the Los Angeles landscape. Now, LA has a huge diversity of neighborhoods. There's a neighborhood for everyone. What are you, a hipster? Check out Highland Park or Silver Lake or Venice Beach 18 years ago, because that's over now, pal. You have to be straight up rich to live in Venice Beach. What are you, a musician? Maybe you want to live in Laurel Canyon or Studio City for some strange reason. Actually, they're right next door to each other if you know about going over the hill on Laurel Canyon Boulevard. Or maybe you're an actor. Okay, C-list actors can be found in NELA, which stands for Northeast Los Angeles and includes Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Echo Park, Silver Lake. B-list actors get to live in West Hollywood or Los Feliz or Beechwood Canyon. And A-list actors, well, they can live wherever the heck they want. But usually it's Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, or the Bird Streets north of the Sunset Strip. Or maybe you're a tech nerd. Well, tech nerds seem to like Westchester, or Marina del Rey, or Playa del Rey, or the ones with really deep pockets, they're in Venice Beach. So what about us normal people? Well, we live in Glendale or Pasadena, which now that I think about it isn't even Los Angeles, so I guess we gotta move to the Valley or Mid-City maybe. But my point is all these neighborhoods I listed are different from one another and have a flavor to them. And if you're new to Los Angeles, I suggest having fun and checking them out and learning about them so you can plant your roots down in a place that you feel like you belong, because LA's big and it can be lonely if you don't do it right. Now, the City of Angels is also the city of artists and doers. LA offers a hub for creativity in fields like acting or writing and the arts. You can get lost in the myriad of things to do every night, whether it's at a local live theater or music at venues like Hollywood Bowl or the Greek Theater or the Roxy on Sunset. And smaller clubs are everywhere. Or there's sports with the Rams, the Dodgers, the Kings, the Lakers. Heck, if you find LA boring, you just may be boring. LA is also the location to many tech companies that have large presence here in Los Angeles, like Google and Hulu and Snapchat and YouTube and SpaceX. So that's a lot of good stuff, but what are the issues with living in LA? Well, number one, it's expensive. I mean, let's face it, $1 million does not go very far for a house, and $2,500 might get you a one-bedroom apartment if you look hard enough. Now, we have a lot of taxes in LA too. Our sales tax is like 10%, and in California, our state income tax is as much as 13%. LA also has some of the worst traffic in the country. When I was in my office in Los Feliz, I was only 7 miles from Beverly Hills, but that drive could be an hour because Beverly Hills is inconvenient to get to from anywhere except Beverly Hills. Okay, maybe Bel Air, but what's the difference? My point is, Beverly Hills is not freeway accessible. Now, LA does have a public transit system, and a lot of Angelinos may not be aware of that, and it's called the LA Metro. And it includes buses and railway and subways and bike paths and microbuses throughout Los Angeles. Now, I took that directly from the LA Metro website, and I think they're really reaching calling bike paths public transportation, but whatever. Now, I don't want to hate on LA's public transportation system because connecting 500 square miles of city may be impossible. But it is better today than it was 40 years ago. I remember taking the RTD bus, which stood for the Rapid Transit District, but we used to refer to it as the Rough, Tough, and Dirty, home from the Chinese Theater at 1 o'clock in the morning. And let me tell you, some crazy things take place on a public bus on Hollywood Boulevard at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna leave that right there for you. But I will never forgive the LA city planners for not figuring out a way to connect our subway or light rail system to LAX. I mean, really? Sadly, if you ask most Angelinos what their favorite public transportation is, I think the #1 answer you'd get is Uber. Okay. It doesn't help that everything is so spread apart here in LA in its 500 square miles, so it takes effort to enjoy the city. If you're going to go out for dinner, you may be driving 45 minutes. Sure, there are closer restaurants, but if you want to go to that restaurant, it's going to be a haul, and that's just the way it is. I like to go to the beach, and it's not easy. It can be an all-day excursion that includes 2 hours from door to sand, and then another 2 hours to get home, but it's worth it. Again, it takes effort. So let's talk about crime. What's crime like in LA? Well, on a scale of 1 to 100, crime rates based on FBI data, violent crime scores a 29 in Los Angeles. New York, by the way, is a 28, and the US average is 22. Property crime in Los Angeles scores a 35. New York is a 25, by the way, and the US average is 35. So maybe LA gets a bad rap for crime. The reality is, LA is huge, and your mileage may vary when it comes to crime in Los Angeles based on what neighborhood you're in or what street you're on in that neighborhood. So even though the numbers aren't terrible, I decided to put crime down as an issue because crime is an issue in most giant cities. Lastly, is Los Angeles' giant and ever-growing unhoused population. It's the largest population of unhoused people in the country. The biggest black eye for the City of Angels. You can't drive very far throughout the city and not see some of the 40,000 people that sleep on the street every night. Most freeway underpasses are small tent communities, and if you look long enough, you're going to see families there. Now, I grew up poor, I worked hard, and would be considered by some people self-made. But when I look at these people, I don't see lazy people. I see people deeply hurt and struggling. I'm not going to pretend to have the solution to this problem, but I do believe that this is a social services problem and not a law enforcement problem. I also believe that Mayor Bass, who just signed a $13 billion budget for Los Angeles, of which 10% is dedicated to addressing the homeless problem, has her heart and intentions in the right place. I hope she's up for this huge task. So there you go. Is living in Los Angeles worth it? It's not for everybody, but no city is. But if you understand the city, if you get it, and if you're willing to put in the effort it takes to love the city, it will love you back. And you will be one of the lucky people who gets to live an incredible life here in the City of Angels. So thanks for watching. If you liked what we had to say, do us a favor and comment. If LA sounds like the right fit for you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more content.
But I'm the one. You my little boo thing. So I'll give a hoot what you do say, girl, I know. You a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl, I know. Tell 'em I'm